Hello everyone. In this session, let us understand the concept of ArrayList in Java. ArrayList supports creation of dynamic arrays. It implements the list interface and it supports creation of dynamic arrays. In the last few sessions, we have been seeing the concepts of arrays, and one of the limitation of the organic basic arrays in Java is the length is fixed. When you declare an array, at that time you need to specify the length and then it is fixed. You cannot shrink it, you cannot expand it. And if you want to create dynamic arrays, then ArrayList is a very good example. ArrayList can help you a lot over there. So, and also in addition to the normal features of ArrayList supports a lot of different methods, like methods for accessing the elements, searching the elements, viewing the portion, iterating, etc., which gives us a lot of benefits over the normal arrays. So let us see how we can declare the object of ArrayList, and then one by one we will see the features. So to declare the ArrayList, simply we need to first use ArrayList class, and we need to specify what type of data it is going to hold. In these angular brackets, we need to specify what this list is going to hold: string or integer or character or what. So let's say I want to create a list of strings, and then let's give it some names, say ARR, and then new ArrayList. So this is one way you can declare. And the constructor over here, it accepts the argument, like you can specify the initial size of the list. Say I want to add 100 elements, 200 elements, 10 elements to the list, and it can change later on, or you can just leave it blank and it will create a blank array list. It's up to you. So for now I'm going to create it blank, and later on as we go on adding the elements, the size will get created. And also ArrayList is from Java util, so we need to import it. So this is one way you can create the object. As we saw that ArrayList implements the list interface, so you can use the parent also. You can create or declare the object with the parent, that is list, say string, let me call it as ARR1, and then call the constructor of child. Any one of these two ways is fine to declare the object of ArrayList. Either you can use the ArrayList class or you can use the interface, that is parent interface list. Also list is from Java util, so we need to import that as well. Okay. So for now let us use the first method. Now let us see how we can add the elements to the ArrayList. To add the elements, we can simply use the object, that is ARR.add method, and in this case we need to add the string values. So let us add some colors like red and so on. So let me add some colors to the list. So now the list is populated with the different colors, and at any point of time when we want to see the current collection in the list, current items in the list, we can simply use a sysout and do something like ARR. So that's the name of the object, and when we run this program you will see the number of items currently inside the list. Okay, now let us see how we can get the value. We know that array has index associated with every element of the list. So the first element has index 0, second element has index 1, and so on. So we can use this index to retrieve the elements, to get the values of the elements. The way it can be done is simply by using the object dot get and then specify the index. So if you specify 0, you will get the first item. You specify some other index, let us say index 3, then item will be this one. So when we run this program, we will see red for index 0, yellow for index 3. So this is the way we can add the elements and retrieve the elements. Now let us see how we can update the elements. Let us say I want to update the element at index 3. Currently the value is yellow, but I want to change it, update it to some other value. So let us say we want to update that value, and it can be done by using set method. So the set method has two parameters. One is index, so specify the index of the value that you want to change, and the second parameter is tell us the new value. Let us say pink. So the existing value yellow will get updated with the new value pink. So after updating, let us try to retrieve the value at third index again, and let's run the program. So before updating it was yellow, and after updating at index 3 we see the pink. But now you say that at index 4 also we have the same pink. So is it allowed? Yes. List allows addition of duplicate values. That is the difference in between set and list. Set does not allow. Set cannot have duplicates, but list can have duplicates. We will see regarding the sets in the upcoming future videos. So this is about adding the values, updating the values. Now let us see how we can remove the values. There is something called as clear. If you use that, the whole elements will get clear. So if it is something like arr.clear, then everything from the list will be clear. So at this point we will not see anything. Let me just add one liner here. See, list elements blank because we are clearing all the items. Say I want to remove some items. Say I want to remove item at index 0. Is it possible? Yes. You can remove the item by using index. That can be done by using something like object.remove. So specify the object or the index of the object. So if you say remove 0, it means the item at 0th index will get removed. When you run this program, you will see red gone from the list. There is no red. So you can use either the index or the object, the value itself. So what I mean by that is when you say arr.remove, and then let us say I want to remove the green. So in this case 0 will remove blue, and this remove green will actually remove the value green from the list. So there is no red and no green in the list. They got removed. So you can remove by using index, you can remove by using the value, both. So this is about adding the values, getting the values, updating the values, clearing all the values, removing the values, basic things that we do with any collection in a list. Now let us see how we can search a list. If I want to check whether a particular element is present in the list, I want to check the index of a specific element, last index of a specific element. How can we do that? So before we go there, let me comment a couple of lines over here. Now let us say I want to get the index of pink. Now I know that there is a word or there is an item pink in the list, and I want to get the index of that. We can get it by using arr.index of. We have this index of method for the string also. Same method, index of will give you the index of the particular item in the list. Now in this case, let me say it is case sensitive. Yes, it is case sensitive. So when you run this program, you will get the index of pink, that is 3. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. So third item is the pink. Now we will say that there are 2 pink in the list, and why it is providing the index or returning the index of the first pink. So that is how it works. Index of will give you the index of first match from the list. What if you want to get the last match? Yes, that can be done by using last index of. arr.last index of, and then you specify the object from the list, and when you run the program you will get 4. So 3 when you do index of, and 4 when you do last index of. We have 2 pink in the list, so when you search from the bottom of the list, you get this one as the first match. So very similar to the index of, last index of methods from the string. Also we have some method called as contains, which helps us finding whether a particular element is present in the list or not. Now with arrays this is difficult. We have to create a program, we have to iterate over the array and use the equals method or whatever comparison methods to compare the items, and then after comparing we will return whether the element is present or not present. But over here we have a readily available method which helps finding an element whether it is present or not present. So if I say contains, let us say I want to check whether something like this is present in the list or not, which currently is not. So then it returns false. If the element is present, it returns true. So if I say whether white is present in the list or not, and when you run, it says true. So very easy, getting the index of a particular item in the list, getting the last index of particular item in the list, or checking whether a particular item is present or not present. This specifically is very useful. After this, we have viewing the portion of the list. Now if I want to create a sublist from a big list, how to do that? You can do it by using sublist method, by using the portion. So let us use this arr dot sublist, and then I want to create a sublist from index 2 to index 5. Now remember, begin index is inclusive in Java, end index is not inclusive, so it is going to get the items from index 2. So index 2 is this, and index 5 is 3, 4, 5. So it's going to give us items from index 2 to index 4. Begin index is inclusive, end index is not inclusive, so it will create a new list which will have items green, pink, pink. When we run this program, we are going to see a new list which will be green, pink, pink. Can we add this new list to an actual list object? Yes, you can do that. So we'll create a list object, list string, and let's give it arr2 is equal to, we'll add this portion over here, and then we will print arr2 over here. The same way, a new list will be created by the portion of arr list, and that will be called as arr2. So when you run this program, output will be pretty same. So it will be a sublist from this main list. So creating a sublist from main list, and then final part is iterating over the array. So before we go to iterating, let us see some of the miscellaneous things: how to get the size of the list, how to convert it to array, checking whether a list is empty or not empty. These are pretty simple stuff. If you do something like arr dot is empty, if the list is empty, it will say true. If the list is not empty, it will say false. Also, there is something called as arr dot size, which will tell us the number of items in the list. So let me quickly add dotted line here so it gives us a better visual in the output. So over here, false for is empty, yes, it is not empty, and size is 9, so number of items in the list is 9. Okay, and to convert a list into array, you can simply use toArray method. So arr.toArray, if you do that, it will convert the list into array. Now final part, iterating over the list. So let me add another dotted line, and then we can use two things. We can use a modified for loop to iterate over, like we have used it on normal arrays. Yes, it will work. And also there is something called as iterator, list iterator we can use. So we'll see list iterator in a separate session. For now, let us see how we can use modified for loop. So concept is same for each element in the collection of elements, for each object in the collection of objects. So in this case, what is that each? It is string. So we'll say that for each string, let's call it as X in the collection of strings. What is the name of the collection? ARR. And then we can quickly iterate over by using this X. So X will be that particular item during the iteration. So when you run this program, over here, these are all the items when we iterate over. And of course, there is another way we can iterate on the list by using the iterator, which we'll see it in upcoming sessions. So let's quickly take a look once again. How to create a list? We can use ArrayList class, or we can use list interface to create a list and call the constructor of ArrayList. And then to add the items, we can use the object.add method. To get the values by using index, we can use simply get method and provide the index, and we will retrieve the values. To update, we have the set method, provide the index, provide the new value. So the existing value at that index will be updated with the new value. Then we can use remove to remove a specific element, either by using index or by using the specific value. Or we can use clear to clear all the list. We can use index of, last index of, to get the index of a specific item in the list. We can check whether a particular item is present in the list or not present in the list by using contains method. And then we can get a sublist from a list by using this sublist method. And is empty, size, they will tell us whether the list is empty, not empty. Size will tell us what is the number of items in the list. And to print the list quickly, we can use just ARR in the print line, and it will print the current list items. And at the end, we can use this modified special for loop to iterate over the list and print all the items. So this is about ArrayList. In the next session, we'll talk about linked list.